Thanks for joining me again on the watercolour paint demonstration, and I'm starting this one off with just clean water all over the paper using a large Ronrance and Hay brush, just dipping the tips in the water. I'm just going to go a bit of raw sienna, a little bit of cadmium yellow, a sort of bright yellowy sky I'm going to make today. I'm just going to try and leave little bits of white here and there, little act as like bits of intense light coming through the scene. Well, that's the aim anyway. A bit more cadmium, a bit more raw sienna. I'm just going to work this way down to the bottom of the paper. And then once I'm there, switch. And I don't want to make these too wide, just little bits. So I've just left little bits of white down the centre. That'll be the light. I'm going to clean the brush. Let's have a bit of ultramarine. I'll put a little bit of Payne's grey in there as well. Pop it there like that. A bit more ultramarine. Just keep reloading the brush with ultramarine as I'm working my way down. Now the horizon line is going to be about there somewhere, so I'm going to stop that about there now. And then where put some water down below, so I'm just going to push this in from the side and just stop short of the middle, just to continue that light reflecting off the water down below. I think that's enough for the background. So I'm going to give that a quick dry. Actually, I just had a thought. I might just put a little bit of cloud. So you might have noticed I just hit that there with the hair dry, and just give me an idea. Just a few little clouds here in the sky. Trying to keep it fairly subtle. A little bit there and there. And then just slightly more on this side. I try and put the emphasis on one section. Don't just sort of do them all evenly spread around. Try and do one head. It's a little bit heavier than the other. So there's just a couple of little bits there, and then more on the left hand side. Just soak up that reservoir of water at the bottom of the paper, and I'll continue to dry the page. Now the paper's stretched slightly because I've started painting, so I'm just going to pull that tight. You can stretch it before you paint, it's entirely up to you how you do it. And I'll just clip it with these clips to the board. Some people use masking tape, some use pins. It's entirely up to you how you do it. So that's the background. Now I'm going to use the same two colours. Actually, too much water. I'm just going to get a bit of raw sienna, a bit of, I say two colours, 4 colours that I've been using so far, a little bit of each, not too much. I'm just going to put on the most distant bit of land, which is somewhere about there. I'm going to strengthen it a little bit, add a bit of raw sienna to it, and then bring that bit of ultramarine as well. It's darken it slightly. That's up there like that. A bit more raw sienna, just to vary it. There's a few little trees on there, so I'm going to go cadmium yellow, bit of Payne's grey, really dark green. I'm just going to use the corner of the brush, just put a little tree line up there, a few more right in the distance. So that's that side, actually. It's a bit of ultramarine. Let's just put maybe did that a little bit too much, not to worry. Right, now over to the left hand side, I didn't need to clean that brush in, I want it because I want quite a dark colour. So I'm going to have to make that green up again. So I've gone cadmium, bit of ultramarine, bit of Payne's grey, really dark green. And this time I'm going to start right up here. And you can see how my hairs are sort of fraying all over the place. That just helps create random shapes and patterns like grow in nature. So I'm coming down to there. Let's just mark that little bit there. That's where I'm coming down to. And I'm going to start off up there. And I'm doing just a little flick like that. And because there's 2 or 3 different combinations of colours on the brush, you get some nice variation. So that's the darkest there. I've done that dark there just so it looks like you know, the light sort of shadowing it and making it look silhouette. And then below that, just to vary it a little bit, I'm just going to go a bit of raw sienna, a bit of cadmium yellow. This area is being struck by the light a little bit more. I'm just going to bring that down. Something like that. A bit more ultramarine. Let's just darken this up a bit more because I want to put a little house in there. So I'm just going to switch to a bit of plastic card. I'm just going to try and take out the shape of a cottage. So I just put the roof in and then pull down for the sides, other side of the roof, and then I'm just pulling down. It's just like the timbers down on the end of the cottage. That's better. It wasn't quite flat. This is getting bigger and bigger. Let's just do that again. Pull these down. So the one, it wasn't quite flat on the edge, so it wasn't quite scraping right. I'm just going to let that dry a little bit and I'll come back to it. Now in the meantime, let's go a bit of raw sienna. I'm going to throw a little bit of burnt umber into it as well. And these are like the sort of muddy shores. Let's just push that up there like that. Muddy shoreline. Ultramarine just to darken it a bit as it comes across this lit area. A bit more water just to loosen the paint on the brush. It's gone a little bit dry. Burnt umber, ultramarine. Putting that there just across that light lit bit there just to maximise the contrast. Quick sweep down there. This is coming right across the other side now. I'm going to put a little road in there or path. But for now, just go back to the green. There's a bit of green in there. Plenty of grass growing in the foreground, so clean the brush, took the excess off on the tea towel, bit of raw sienna, bit of cadmium yellow, sweep that in. Let's get in there again. this road in there. Actually, let's just put this path in that's running alongside this cottage. So I'm just going to go a bit of light red, bit of ultramarine, and sort of something like that sweeps round. So now I've got that road in, I'll just push that grass just right up to it. A little darker there it is. And what I might try to do is make it look as if there's a little bit of smoke coming out the chimney, which I haven't actually put in. Otherwise, it's not too late to scrape that in. Yeah, there's a little chimney scrape in. So what I'm going to do now is take the rigger brush, bit of tissue in my other hand, find a clean bit, and I'm just going to dampen the brush in the water. And then I'm just using, all I'm doing is loosening the paint, just swirling it around. Taking it off with the tissue. So I'm just heading toward that dark bit there, just so that it shows up a bit better. I'll do for that, I think. Just gives the impression of some smoke coming out the chimney. Just put a little bit of a bit darker. A little bit of colour on the roof. So it's not purely white. Yeah, I think it's need a little bit of shadow on this side. So I'm just gonna I'll put that on afterwards. I'm just going to do the figures first, I think. So I'm just going to go a bit of brown, a bit of blue. They're going to be sort of just mix all that up, you know. Put it right into that. So I'll just be mixing that on the palette and I've flicked it all up onto the paint. I'll just leave that for now. So a bit of brown, a bit of blue. And then I'm just going to have a little stop on. So start down there. And sort of silhouetted against that light. And there's the first one. And then little friend next to him. And then you've got the light coming down there, so that's something like so. And then so just want to get that switch to another brush and use this little flat brush here. So I want this part in shadow. That's sort of coming across like that. Those are shadowy bits along here. Slightly overdone that a little bit, but I think that's almost there. All I'm going to do now is a little I'm going to put some birds over it. Little birds just coming over the horizon. Well, actually no, I've done them too big to be over the horizon. Just swimming over, flying over the water. Right, so all that's left now, just pop my name in the corner, and then let's put a mount on it and see what it looks like. So here's the finished painting, the main, so let's go in and have a closer look at it. Now in recent paints, instead of just having raw sienna, I've added a little bit of cadmium yellow as well to give it more of a sort of bright glow to the sky, and also, especially if you like leave just little white gaps unpainted down the middle, just looks as if there's light just coming straight through, and it's here where it's reflecting off the water as well as I've brought it right down into the foreground. I've kept the sky as simple as possible. It was ultramarine with a bit of Payne's grain there. I don't know, it might have worked better with just ultramarine, I'm not sure to be honest. And then as an afterthought, just took a little bits out here and there with the tissue just to give the impression of some clouds hovering about in the sky. The most distant land put in using the same colours as the sky helps push it right back, and then sort of slightly stronger tones as we come closer and closer into the foreground. We've got plenty of little bits of shadow here mixed in with the lighter areas to give that impression of light. We've got our foreground little path road here leading to our two little figures here casting the shadow. Little cabin here scraped out with the card, and then just wet the paints and just took it out with some tissue to give the impression of smoke coming out the chimney. Well, I hope you like that. Thanks for watching. Keep practicing. Any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I'll see you again soon.